What's it like playing Tim Ballard, and why did you decide to take this role?
Well, I was, called into the industry when I was 19 years old, and I knew that it was the Lord that called me into this business. I had no idea that I could act the way but I felt that God believed in me, and I kind of started there with Tim, and when he started to show me all of the hell that they have to look at, it's when I bring this up to people, I'm not for trafficking of children. I want to stop it. And Tim would always tell me, when you're playing this, just remember that, because this hell that you have to look at, most of the guys I bring in, and they've seen the worst stuff that you've ever seen. It's just what they do to children. Children are nothing more than like a cow. It's already past the drug trade, okay? This is like, if you were to watch Schindler's List, you would say, boy, that was terrible. I wish I was around that. Maybe I could have done something. But you can do something now. And we can end this. When your child is taken, you're never going to see that kid again. And at that point, you probably wished you would have done something. We're at that point right now. And if we let our little ones continue to be slaughtered, boy, there's going to be a judgment on this world, and especially our country.
Thank you. Now, Jim, Tim, you're playing the role of Tim Ballard, and Tim is actually continuing to save kids. I mean, you're making a movie about it, but this is what he does, and he
here today. He was supposed to be in the room with me in right here or in Tulsa, but he's down there saving children as we speak, because they're pulling kids out of the darkest recesses of hell right now, in dumps and all kinds of places. The adrenocroming of children. Look, where we're at right now. Hopefully, we need your prayers. This film is. When Tim Ballard came down to Bogota and we had about finished 2/3 of it, I said, why did you pick me? And he said, well, they didn't want you. They wanted someone else. But I said, well, I got to tell you, I did this movie, Monte Cristo and The Passion. And about 2/3 of the way through, I knew we were onto something that was phenomenal. And I said, I feel that with this film. And he goes, well, actually, it was those two films that I saw. This is why I had to have you in my film. So, sorry.
No, Jim, you said a word a minute ago, and I want to clarify what that word was, because you said a word, and I want to make sure that you said adrenochrome.
Yeah.
And a lot of people here, there's about 4,500 people here. There's about 500,000 people streaming online. We're having some cyber attacks. That feed's been going on and off. But you said that word, and by a show of hands, who's heard that word before in this building? Could you please explain, to the extent that you want to or not want to, what that is? Because some people have never heard that before, and we need to discuss that.
Essentially, you have adrenaline in your body. I'll just simplify it. And when you are scared, you produce adrenaline. If you're an athlete, you get in the fourth quarter, you have adrenaline that comes out of you. If a child knows he's going to die, his body will secrete this adrenaline, and they have a lot of terms that they use that he takes me through. But it's the worst horror I've ever seen, is screaming alone, even if I never, ever saw it. It's beyond, and these people that do it, there'll be no mercy for them. This is one of the best films I've ever done in my life, and at that point where I have tears coming out of my eyes because my heart is so on fire, I'm fearless. You're fearless. You're the best that you will ever be when God is in your heart like that. And when it's burning, you're fearless, and you're not afraid of the devil. You actually hunt him. And any of them that hurt our little children. In the film, there's a line in there where he says, why are you doing this? And I say to him, as Tim said, because God's children are not for sale. They're not for sale. You can't do it anymore, Satan. And we're coming after you. And I'm not afraid, and I'd ask you all not to be afraid either, because they're worth saving.
That made me cry again. Okay, so here we go. So now your partner on this project, the actual character that you're playing, Tim Ballard, he couldn't be here because, as you mentioned, he's actually in the process of rescuing kids tonight.
Yeah. Yes.
And so I'm up here on stage. I don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, so I was getting an update. So my understanding is that Tim recorded a video just for the folks here in Tulsa that he wanted to play for us there. I thought that was very thoughtful of him. So, Devin, you have that? Okay, so we're going to full screen that thing, and here we go.
Hey everybody, Tim Ballard here, founder of Operation Underground Railroad. I'm so sorry I can't be with you at your Health and Freedom conference. I'm actually here doing an operation overseas, which I hope to be able to tell you about soon. It's involving the rescue of kids as young as 12 years old. We've been working this case for quite some time. That's the only reason I'm not there. I would be there otherwise, but obviously operations will take precedent always. Super excited that you get to see the trailer of the film Sound of Freedom, which is the story that's based on me and my family and the creation of our rescue efforts. I hope you enjoyed that trailer. I am so thrilled that my good friend Jim Caviezel is playing me in that movie. He was actually my first choice, and lucky to get him, especially after the film was done. We knew even more that he is and was the right guy for the job. This movie is really important. It's an opportunity for the world to understand what is happening. That there are millions of children who are forced into the commercial sex trade, millions of children being bought and sold, along with adults, frankly, and altogether it's $150 billion a year business. That's the buying and selling of human beings. Millions are children. And the world doesn't know. How can they know if there's not some vehicle to teach them and convert them to the cause? This film, I believe, does that. It converts people to the cause. And until we get millions converted to the cause, millions of kids will be stuck in sex slavery, stuck in hell. So this is a big deal. It's a big deal to me. And I'm grateful that you may be part of this, that you might help us get this film, The Sound of Freedom, out to the world, because it will save the lives of children. Thank you guys so much. Again, sorry I can't be with you, but I'll be with you next time. Thanks a lot.
It's going to come out in the fourth quarter. I pray that it comes out in the fourth quarter. Obviously, you understand the content of this. Once the world sees this film, and once they see the ships that they transport the children in and all of this stuff, well, there's no other film like this. Our industry can't make this film right now because of a lot of people that are involved in it all over the world that are in this. And many of these people are very famous.